welcome to another RSR. Tonight I will be reacting to the quarterfinals and predicting the semifinals of the 2022 Scotiabank CONCACAF League. Reacciones de cuartos de final y predicciones semifinales de la Liga de CONCACAF de Scotiabank 2022. Here we go. We'll go in ending order for the quarters. Tell you which ones I got right, which ones I got wrong. Still got to keep that in suspense, but I think you know. Quarterfinal 4, LD Alajuelense 3, Alianza FC 0, 3-0 Alajuelense contra Alianza. Alianza loses to Alajuelense. I got that one right. Alajuelense dominated Alianza. There was no question throughout the tie. Alajuelense easily dispatched Alianza. Alajuelense were the way better team. They were the stronger team. They were the smarter team. They played the exact way you would want them to play when it comes to playing in the CONCACAF League. They dictated the terms of play, and they said, hey, you ain't going to beat us. We want to get back to the final. We want to win, be the only two-time champions. Alianza had no answer for Alajuelense. Alajuelense played a strong defense, good offense, and Alajuelense still rolls through this competition. Only have allowed 2 goals throughout the tournament so far in their 3 rounds. And I think they could still roll further, but I got quarterfinal 4 right. Alajuelense, strong performance. Expected them to win. I thought it'd be a bit closer. I didn't expect them to blank Alianza. They did. So that's a better performance than how I expected it to go down. So, there you go. Quarterfinal 1. Tauro FC 0. FC Motagua 0. 4-5 on penalties for FC Motagua. 0-0. 4-5 en penales. Motagua over Tauro. I got that one right. Motagua. I can't believe it was this close. I thought Motagua would absolutely deal with Tauro. I did not expect this game to be that close or that tight. I thought Motagua would win by 2 or 3 goals. I didn't know this would go to penalties. I didn't expect this to go to penalties. If there was anything that would have went to penalties, I would have expected Alajuelense or Herediano. Those didn't. But this tie, I didn't expect Olympia either to go to penalties. Not that they did, but I'm just saying. Motagua, they didn't really play well on offense. Defensively, they were strong, but I think the reason it was 0-0 is they shot themselves in the foot more than Tauro played good defense. They were focused on holding, and they did. And the fact that they missed a penalty in the first leg that would have gave them the win without having to go to a shootout is just absolutely bad. Horrible penalty in that first leg. But they go through on a shootout. They do exactly what they need to do, or just enough to scrape through, but they go through. I had them going through. I'm right on that. 2-0 so far on my predictions. Quarterfinal 3, CS Herediano 2, Real España 4, 2-4, Herediano contra España. Real España going through. Had that one right. I told you Real España were the better team in this tie. I expected them. I thought it was going to be closer, but I expected them to beat Herediano. Herediano's not looked like their top 3 in Costa Rica selves against Pacific. Pacific, honestly, I still think should have beat them in that tie. And I knew España was going to get through this tie. I expected it. Because to me, Real España are a very damn good team. They are turning heads. They are shocking everybody throughout this tournament. Nobody expected anything out of them when this tournament started. Not even me. I thought Real Esteli would do better than them. No, they didn't. Real España has a damn good team. They play great offensive football. They can defend well. And they know exactly how to play the game and run a tie. They have figured everything out on the fly and done very well at it. They are a damn good team, and they're beating some big teams. in this tournament. Whether they're historically big teams or they're teams who've had a lot of CONCACAF experience, they're beating big teams. And they get another one in the semifinals. But I had España going through. I got that one right. 3-0 on my predictions in the quarterfinals. And finally, quarterfinal 2, CD Olympia 7, Dirianhen 1. 7-1 Olympia. 7-1 Olympia. Yeah. I got that one right. Obviously. I told you this one would be an absolute skull dragging. And, well, what did we get? The best thing about this tie was the fact Dirianhen was flirting with Champions League for about 45 minutes. And then they got their hopes broken expeditiously and skull dragged in Honduras. 7-1. Olympia did exactly what they needed to do. They coasted for a little bit, but they had enough through the first leg, and then they said, oh, you're going to just start wasting time to try to make Champions League? We're going to make you pay. Oh, did they make them pay. Skull dragged them over both legs. It was over after the first leg, but damn. Watching Dirianhen get broken like that, shit. Oh boy. Sad. It's honestly sad. I kind of wanted to see them in CONCACAF Champions League when they were going for it. I really did. Over Tauro. But they won't be in CONCACAF Champions League. I got that right. 4 out of 4 on my quarterfinal predictions. The teams going to CONCACAF Champions League are Alajuelense, Alianza, Motagua, Real España, Tauro FC, and CD Olympia. Of course, Alajuelense, Motagua, España, and Olympia as your semifinal winners. Alianza and Tauro as your losing quarterfinalists. But that's a pretty good Central American cadre right there. Anybody could spring an upset. This is going to be a crazy CONCACAF Champions League starting in February. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if 2 upsets were sprung in the round of 16. Just wait. It's a good cadre. Is it enough? Who knows? But I say it's a good cadre. 4 out of 4 on my quarterfinal predictions. Perfect round. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2 in the semifinals and go 6-0 through these 2 rounds. And hopefully 7-0 with a final, but we'll see. Semifinal 1, FC Motagua from Honduras versus CD Olympia from Honduras. We have a Super Clásico Hondureño in the semifinals. What we all wanted to see, what I had predicted from the first moment when I made my full predictions. We got it. We got some Kino, boys and ladies. We have some Kino coming up. But right now, FC Motagua is the best team in the Honduran League. Olympia is not. But what you look at CONCACAF League and you watch the tournament just by itself, you would be like, how is Olympia not higher than them on the table? Because Olympia's been the way better team throughout this tournament out of the 2. They have curb stomp teams. They have skull drag teams. They skull dragged Municipal. They skull dragged Municipal. Sort of. They got out to a big lead. Then they got the 3rd goal. But let's be honest. Besides the 2 goals being down a man, they got skull dragged. They skull dragged Dirianhen. And honestly, Motagua, if they're not careful, they could get skull dragged too. Now, do I think they'll get skull dragged? No. This will be a pretty tough derby. Classical situation over 2 legs. Of course, in the same stadium, even though Olympia hosts the second leg, it's the same stadium. There is no way that home leg matters besides, housekeeping. Who has the away goals? But CD Olympia, I'm going to say they win by 2 goals. I don't say they skull drag Motagua. I say it's probably 4-2 on aggregate, but I got CD Olympia going through and going to the final for the final ever CONCACAF League and trying to bookend the tournament as champions 2017 and hopefully 2022 in their book, not me. But Well, I had them winning the whole way through on my first bracket, so I guess hopefully. But I did buy into the storyline, but I think we're going to get at least the final with that storyline. Olympia has a chance to bookend the tournament. I got Olympia going through 4-2 on aggregate. Semifinal 2, we got Real España from Honduras versus LD Alajuelense of Costa Rica. Alajuelense hosts the second leg at Alejandro Moreno Soto. The first leg is down in Honduras. This is why I think the way I think. Hear me out here. Real España has been a very good team. They've been great. But Alajuelense has been just as good. This is two hot teams facing each other, going to face off against each other. A team who's been CONCACAF champions versus a team who's just popped up on the map, pretty much. So, I think this comes down to one, experience, and the order of the legs. If Alajuelense keeps it a 1-1 draw, wins on the road by a goal, 2-2 draw, gets an away goal or two, I think they win the tie. I think they do just enough at home at their fortress to win this tie and go to the final. I think they have more experience. I think the experience, this is the team who's finally really experienced, who's actually talented. Herediano is carny, cronyism. They're not as talented without Bennett. They have the history, but they're not as talented without Bennett, and you could see it. Cartagenas, they were just happy to be there. Real Esteli, I guess when you're in Honduras, you're going to be the better team. And it showed. It showed. Real España are finally facing a team who are at their level or a little bit higher. And I think Alajuelense, with their amounts of experience, being champions, I think this is when the Cinderella story or the turn head story ends, at least for now, because I think Real España will have a good chance to have a great CONCACAF Champions League for a Central American team. But I think Alajuelense does enough on the road in the first leg to go home and clinch the tie there and do exactly what they need to do at Alejandro Moreno Soto. I think it's going to be very close. It's going to be a 1-goal tie, maybe even somehow go to penalties. But I think Alajuelense win 3-2 on aggregate. Alajuelense goes to the final. The 2020 champions will have a chance to be the only 2-time champion against a team who's trying to bookend the tournament as champions. It's going to be a champion versus champion final to end the tournament and see who is the only 2-time champion in CONCACAF League history. Which leads me to my predicted 2022 CONCACAF League final. CD Olympia of Honduras versus LD Alajuelense of Costa Rica. That is my predicted final. I have Alajuelense versus Olympia in the final, of course. And I won't predict the final until we know who's actually in it and when. Well, of course, we know when it's going down, but we'll predict it closer to when the final actually starts, like the Monday or Tuesday before, depending on the day before, depending on what it is. So, for that, not even predict it in the semifinal recap. You just got a semifinal recap. You know how this works if you've been here for a while. So, with that being said, I got 4-0 on my quarterfinal predictions. Let's hope I go for 2. Get 2-0 on my semifinal predictions. Go 6-0 in my last 6 ties predicted. And let's see some great semifinals. I bet they're both going to be barn burners. So with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Once you subscribe, send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video or send a super chat on this video because it's a premiere. So remember, hopefully you did or you will. Send comments on this video once it's over. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow, Saturday, for a live watch-along and review of Orlando City versus Toronto FC. The season is still a little bit going in. They're not mathematically eliminated, and they still may not be, depending on what happens. Even if they lose, they may not be. I got to check that, though. But they still have a chance to make the playoffs and sneak in, barely. So, we'll see. Of course, they would somehow try to stay alive till decision day and then break my heart then, but we'll find out. 2 games before that, and tomorrow's one of them. So with that being said, I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.